Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII on the Serious JG. We got just enough EP for the Chronostasis, and we're trying to see if we can't have an ideal setup for tomorrow morning, where I am already at the Dead Dunes. Excuse me. Already at the Dead Dunes and waiting to open up a treasure chest that requires EP, but will give us an item that saves EP use in the future. I wish I'd known about that a long time ago. Really snuck up on this guy.
The goddess makes me
Maybe I'll go on a journey. Yeah, see, that's more like it.
See you never.
See you now, my friend. See you now, my friend. See you now. Alright, we're gonna go find a little kitty cat who is actually some kid. And, wrap up this dumbass quest. Oh, we don't even get the option of running past him now that we've got this potion.
That's Ronan.
You don't miss a thing, do you? Let him smell the antidote.
Starlit Spice was stolen.
Damn, these cats are fast. Oh well. Come on, Light. Back to Rubrio we go with the ingredients.
The fuck? Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't anticipate that being a thing. Alright, well, I remember where Rubrio is. I guess I needed to show that once. I was trying to swing the sword at them. What the hell was going on there? Oh, whatever. Seemed like not surprising it made a difference to how much damage it took.
Unfurl the wings of death. I'm walking Fate's path. I'll take you. I'm no thief. I'll take you to the unseen void. Time to mix it up.
Making a mess out of this fight. It's okay. Time doesn't pass during battles for the most part. Good thing that sits there for a million years doing that attack. Otherwise, I was just about to start blocking, being like, fuck, I just don't have enough EP to finish this. Alright, folks, you're safe until I leave, when you'll all be immediately murdered by robots. And it's not my fault, so don't even act like it is. Is this where I meant to go? I'm not sure this is where I meant to go. Oh no, here we go. This is...
She's got some guts, at least.
She's got a leg. She's got guts walking around in here. Because we know what she
I'll
did.
bring back lost time. Going to change course.
Got some stones to mess with us, lady. Oh, there's another one.
It's your most valuable treasure.
I'd somehow just completely failed to register that there was another one hanging
I'll
around.
take you to the unseen void.
And I guess it makes a difference if you're behind them, too. I thought that was stagger, but also it seems to inflict damage. We've got another shot of Chronostasis, and now I need to throw. I know I need to throw down a save when I get to those
Bring
kitties.
me the ingredients listed here. Snatched by cats, I presume. Not to worry. I can make another batch for you right away. I just need a minute here.
Alright. So it's catnip, basically.
You'll want to steer clear of cats while you have Starlit Spice.
Alright, so the cats don't give a crap about Chronostasis. They're still able to move around and steal our shit. Chronostasis is weird. The only thing it affects is the clock. It doesn't actually affect you know, people. So when I get to that zone, the kid is surrounded by cats. I don't know that it's going to be worth the effort to find some other avenue of approach.
You'd best be checking the contents of your pocket.
You best be checking your butt to see if it was grabbed by me. The guy's talking about how you check your pocketbooks as you leave. These people here are pickpockets.
Before you leave this place.
Where are you from?
Okay, I think I did it. They were coming after me, though.
It's time to wake up.
What?
Ronan?
Ronan, the Ronan? Or the Ronan warriors?
Am I in my own body again?
But with cat
Yeah.
ears?
Looks like this stuff actually worked. Welcome back to your old life.
Back. But if I'm here, then where's Jem?
You have
Look,
one
she's
soul
gone.
combined, you
You know
weirdos.
that. She's been gone for decades. I know it's a hard reality to face, but you can't keep running from it anymore.
But my cat...
I know. She's never coming back. I get it. You're right. I have to face the truth. But
I guess the things that would mess kids up about eternal life are different from the things that would get to grown-ups.
Not what I want.
What?
Who is that? Is that you, Jem?
Why are we looking at my
And
back?
I'm here to tell you, I want you to live, Master.
Oh, it's like an I Dream of Jeannie
There will
thing.
be no one left in the world who remembers me.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I lived a short but perfect life.
I just had to belch, and I belched even before we got to perfect. I was belching as an editorial comment, but before we got to the worst of this.
You in your heart and in your memories.
Unless you die, in which case I
I
won't, I
want
guess.
you to be happy, just like you were when we were together.
He was perfect. I love the way you petted me. I was gonna make a pet my pussy joke, and then I realized, no, there's no context where that would make sense for the cat to say.
It's like a dream come true.
And if you think that was me being immature, I'll have you know that the British comedy, the finest comedy, the most mature comedy on the planet, consists mostly of Mrs. Slocum talking about her
She's the
pussy.
reason you almost spent eternity as a cat?
I'm not so sure about
Dumbass.
that. I think she knew that I'd go to great lengths to bring Jem back, even if it meant hurting myself in the process.
I think
I
she's a
think Lumina saved me from myself.
sadistic weirdo. Maybe she's a psychic sadistic
I won't
weirdo.
stop you.
That'd be pretty tough, like, you know, as somebody who's like a sadistic weirdo and wants to hurt you, and they can also read your mind to figure out exactly the right ways to do it. Whatever. Alright, quest complete. We got black cat ears. Huzzah! Better rewards than some of these quests. But yeah, that was dumb.
I'll never forget the days I spent with my baby. Never.
Freak. Alright, this guy's freak. So, all we've got left are the ones that we need to come back and talk to Angel Tier Girl, I think, one more time. We have to come back because the Mint the Rococo reporter just refuses to cooperate with us.
Step right up.
He just disappeared from the world, and we need to come back a separate day to do another part of a quest. This is the fanciest version of the most default Woppet. No, it's not the fanciest, it's average. I think we'd need to be playing on New Game Plus to get 5 swords out of 5 swords.
Thank you very much.
You are so stupid. Thank you very much. Where am I heading and why am I heading there? I don't really want to be going this way. I am almost positive I need to go now to the south train station if I want to ride a train Trains travel to Toronto. If I want to ride a train to the Dead Dunes and try to get to where I start the day, parked right on top of the treasure chest that we need to open. This guy's just standing by himself in an alley yelling, "The heretics must be stopped!" He is, of course, a government official. Do encounter anything along here, that'd be fine. I'll get a free EP point plus whatever EP I get just for fighting. But, unless it's a very specific hour where... those Egyptian dog head monsters can appear, or where the weird chaos beetle monsters can appear. There's like nothing happening around here.
When the final bell tolls,
At least those mad fanatics have been quiet lately.
Small blessings, yeah. We gotta take what you can get. Jim the cat, are you still around? No, you are perfectly absent. I'm not even selling these bronze and silver medals. Like, there's nothing that we can do with money right now. Could be like, you know, it's a Super Show Monster Story situation where money seems to pile up, but then suddenly something comes along you don't have enough money for. But it's like an optional town improvement thing, in which case, that's fine. I'll have lots of money at some point.
the train will leave soon.
So it takes an hour to get to the Dead Dunes. That is fine. Once we get to the Dead Dunes, we will warp to I think it's the south entrance we want. It is handy that this train service, which has a very labor intensive, there's some lots of employees at the train company who are just kind of doing their thing.
Just for you.
There are new items available for purchase. Deja Vu gives us strike back, increased damage dealt when HP is at 30% or lower. Not really doing that much for us right now, though. So basically, we got 2 hours to get as close as we possibly can to... It'll be a repeat of some of that last video. Me running around trying to figure out how the hell to get back to that place. And do I remember the route perfectly? No. I've got kind of an idea. I guess I'll save in case we spend the second half of this video just completely freaking lost and messed up. I'll throw down a save, and that way off screen I can get to where we're supposed to be. But I think we'll be fine. I think I'll just it would be really nice if there was a door in there that I could have opened from that side to make it easier to get back and forth. Not that oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I do need to be getting lizard tails. Forbidden Tome. Doesn't look like there's anything else I can get in this place. It's just lizard tails. I thought maybe there's a couple in the wildland. Oh, there's even a couple in Luxarian. Radial bearings. Can do that one. Unfired fireworks. I'd have to look this one up. I actually don't know how to get that one. Statue fragments. I didn't realize, so I do have some Canvas of Prayer things I could do and use now. We got lots of little things we can do to fill up the rest of the time. Thanks.
I can't go back like this.
What's wrong with you? I'm not even gonna turn around. It's like... Well, I mean, there's little treasure chests all over the place here that I haven't gotten. You never know when one of them is going to contain, like, oh, this is the item that means everything is completely free as far as EP is concerned, and I'll be like, what the fuck, why didn't I get that a million years ago? This room, yeah. Cursed Band. I have a feeling that's not that good, but let's see. Lowers max HP, but restores HP when using debilitating or debuffing attacks. Guess it depends on whether or not they have to actually hit. If all you gotta do is cast the spell, like if it heals as much, yeah, you know what, it's probably not that good. I have a feeling it doesn't heal very much.
I think I had the map upside down.
Kind of an amusing idea. Think of the map upside down.
You have an hour before you will be transported to the Ark.
It will become your steed. Okay, I think I'm on the right path now. So that's pretty rude. Like, the door was open, but, like, it froze me in place so that the door could close instantly. And I just saw somebody with question mark name. It was somebody I'd never spoken to before, though. No indication that they had anything to say other than, you know, goofy dialogue related to how they are a treasure hunter person. This is it. So, we'll let time run out, dudes, and when we warp back here, we will be left with only 2 EP. Hopefully that door won't be closed, because if it is, we're just stuck waiting for it. But then we'll have to navigate our way out, catch a train to the Wildlands, start doing quests over there. It'll be daytime, so I'll be able to get the fucking mushrooms I need to advance anything in the story. And we will immediately, as soon as we have it, equip this EP saver thing.
You have half an hour until you'll be transported back to the Ark.
Approximately 1 Let's Play video, Mysterious JG, but don't expect any progress to be made. You could have a whole video where you just decide, well, I should scrap this, but I need it for the channel, so enjoy me wandering around getting dicked over by the mushroom mechanics. The mushroom mechanics, those are Mario and Luigi's cousins, who instead of plumbers, they are mechanics, but they also, you know, have a lot of mushroom-related adventures. They were going to be a huge part of the TurboGrafx 16 if that had lasted longer. They went with Bonk the Caveman instead as their mascots.
You do know that it's almost time, don't you?
Shut the fuck up, Hope. Seriously, there's all these side quests where I was like, it'd be interesting if somebody other than Lightning had something to say. You're silent. Now you're just like, I will pest you every 4 seconds to talk about this mechanic which has happened in the game like a dozen times at this point. 55. He's chiming in again, I'm sure of it. Okay, he's not chiming in again. 58, he's probably chiming in. I guess it's never mind. This game just never wants me to be right about anything. The 9th day is over. It's time to return to the Ark. I think, like, if I hadn't done any quests, this might be like game over. Like, the 9th day might be this might be like the very final day if you didn't do anything to unlock additional days. I don't remember exactly how that works. We definitely, the number of souls we save affects how many days the world has left, which is odd. It's an odd mechanic in this game about a rose-colored woman in fetish armor who's going around getting little boys' souls out of the cats they're trapped in, or vice versa. Little boys' cats out of the souls they're trapped in, I guess. Hello?
There you are. Welcome home.
Oh, I guess the game's over. We win because we get Serah
What's
back.
wrong?
Is the weird
Nothing,
glowing
just
simulacrum
things
of
on
me
my
not
mind.
pleasing to
Don't
you?
worry about it.
I can't help but worry. We're finally getting the chance to talk, but you don't seem happy.
Well,
It's
you're
like you don't
glowing way
even
too
know how
much. I
to
feel like you're
smile anymore.
irradiated.
I never really was a big smiler.
Kind of was never Lightning's thing.
Right now, this is the best I can do.
And that's kind
Not
of
that I was
typical
ever good at it.
It's okay. I can make you smile again.
I'll
You
tickle
just
you.
have to go back to the days when the future still looked bright.
So that we had to wear shades.
When was that?
Fuck, man. Oh, I should
Right
have
before we
her in
made
a
all those
fantasy. Actually, I should have her in, like,
before we started messing around with
default
gods
costume
and
for this game for
Seraph.
some of these dialogues. Could be a lot worse. She's got some really
That was our
ridiculously
destiny to
skimpy
fight for
outfits
the
she could be
world
in during
and the
this.
future.
She didn't really smile that much. I mean, no, honestly, Final Fantasy XIII, the storyline, plot of Final Fantasy XIII was not one where Lightning was going around being happy-go-lucky. It's not her character, and it wouldn't have made sense of the events of that game. That was an entire game in which the society she lived in, including the military organization she was part of, had all completely turned against her and were all trying to hunt her to death. And her sister had been taken away. Like, she wasn't happy.
But all those battles, all those struggles, they didn't mean anything in the end.
If you played that game, you wasted your time.
Was it all a mistake? Even the journey you went on with Noah?
That's right, I'll plug your game since you plugged my game. Please buy these games today. Available now at your local retailer.
Well, what else would you call it? We
So
risked
she disappeared to
everything.
tell us that our lives
In
have
the
been
end,
wasted?
We couldn't save the future, and I've died.
What the
If
fuck,
that's not a
man?
mistake, what is?
Also, are we gonna explain why Hope
why
was
I
an
have to
adult
get
but is
rid
now a
of
kid
it.
again?
Throw it all away.
Oh, she's
Didn't
explained to us how the
think.
world needs to be
It's done
destroyed.
and gone.
What about
No
you?
regrets,
You had
just
like a
clean
love with
slate.
snow, isn't that like a
We're going
thing
to
that you
have a new
enjoyed?
world, and you and I will be just like we used to be way back when.
Snow and Noel won't exist, so you don't have to worry about how. I'm not saying, like JG as me, is not saying there's a weird sex thing between us, but there is this weird, unsettling thing where you do not want me to have a boyfriend.
Listen, Serah. Let me say this.
You're obviously some kind of fake sent by Bunavelza to keep me on track.
It was a mistake.
Then I don't
I'm
want to
the
be
one
right.
who has to bear the blame. Because I sent you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's me who has to pay the price.
The price of having
All
my
you
boobs
did was
exposed
try your
partially
best.
in this
There's
ridiculous
nothing wrong with
costume.
that. It didn't turn out like I'd hoped, but it wasn't a mistake. You tried to do something that was good and right.
Making
must
Noel a
never
likable
throw that away.
character.
Shut up!
And she slaps you.
I don't want to remember it again.
It really wasn't
Just
that
want to
good a
forget
game.
it all.
Final Fantasy 13-2 was a more fun game to play as far as, like, you know, it had good graphics, the battle mechanics were, you know, kind of fun. Being able to switch between characters, which is just not a part of any other Final Fantasy 13 game. But no, as far as, like, what was the story, I do not fucking remember. I know Caius was the bad guy. I don't know what the fuck was happening in that game. Final Fantasy 13's story, it was melodramatic and ridiculous, but I understood the basic core story. There was an evil guy. I called him like Pope Dickhead because he dressed kind of like the Pope and acted, but he was evil, and he was actually this weird demigod who could take a human form but was a giant monster, and he wanted to destroy all life in a mass extinction event because that would summon God to remake things, and he wanted to meet God. So, weird, but like, they were trying to force you and your party, because your party had their weird magical curse you had meant any one of you could transform into a giant monster and wipe everyone out. And this guy, who's like his core programming, because he was this kind of weird, he was created as a demigod, and he had, in a weird like overmind of the Zerg kind of way, he had to find ways to manipulate others against his maker because he couldn't act directly. It was a weird game, but I understood the story. Final Fantasy 13-2 was just like, we're warping around in time. There's a purple-haired guy who wants... he wanted to kill the goddess of death. I guess it was because he was trying to stop this weird reincarnation cycle of his teenage girlfriend. But even that was like, I don't know. And this game's plot, I at least understand, which is that you are collecting souls for God at the end of the world, but it's very clear that you don't understand the exact nature of this God, and that there's all sorts of hints that he is manipulating you into doing this, and that she's not really down, because that was the plot of the first game, is this weird demigod was trying to get you to do something that you didn't want to do, and now it's God. So why did I pause and go into the spiel? I'm not even sure, so let's get back to it.
Right.
But this Serah, in quotes, is acting very out of character. And I don't know what else was going on, other than that.
When she said that, I didn't believe her.
Yeah, that's like, this is
She'd always
something
been
trying to
able
motivate
accept hardship, fight
Lightning
through
to
it,
do
and
her
be
job.
stronger for it. Lumina's words came back to me. She said the only fake I know is Serah.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure it happened.
No, that couldn't be right. The problem was in me, making me doubt her. But it was no good.
All of her
The
outfits
terrible
make these
thought had
cinematics
formed in my
goofy as
mind.
hell.
The seed was planted. What if this Serah was fake?
Fake enormous,
And my
the
memories
annoying
of
blue
her
dude.
too.
You always seem to make the impossible possible, Light, but I don't know that you can handle this much longer.
Give us a
Yeah,
reprieve so that I can save more souls.
Not that many souls left to save. You missed a couple that you can't get now, and mostly it's just a bunch of like dumbass quests like the Canvas of Prayers now. I don't even know if you save souls when you do the Canvas of Prayers. Day 10, 3 days to the end. Like 13, I believe, is the final day. And 12 is the day where I'm going to have to do one of the dungeon of the last ones, I believe, is only available on day 12. I might be wrong. Ability Decoy has been unlocked. There's a Moogle that draws enemies' attacks and enemies' attention for a time. I don't remember that existing at all. I've never heard of like a boss strategy that involves using it either. I think that's just kind of garbage. Anyway. I went off... I think everybody... If I haven't mentioned it before, it's just by coincidence. And I don't usually go into long spiels. I had, I am, at the moment, at least, a cancer survivor. And the cancer came along during my Let's Playing time. So the last 2 years or so, I've been more fixated on what happens when you die than I would have been if I wasn't fighting cancer at the time. So, why am I bringing that up? I think I might have brought it up, and it would be in this context. There's a spot in Neo 2, which is like a limbo, and it's beautiful with this serene music, but it's very small, but yet somehow, like, there's a sense that it would be this really beautiful place, and I was like, I could imagine an afterlife. Like, I don't know if you'd want to spend eternity there, but like, it conjured up feelings of serenity that I could see. Yeah, like, if you had some form of consciousness, but you were at that kind of peace, I could see that would be enjoyable. Somehow, this place just screams really brutally boring to me. It's got this ethereal music, but as I look around, I'm like, oh, Heaven's got, like, an extremely small and not terribly comfortable looking love seat over here. I don't see that it's got... And there's another one on the opposite side. Okay. Hope has an actual armchair at his monitors, and this is where he observes Light walking around in the world. I don't know what that thing is up there. There's a little statue and some books. So I would assume if you were stuck here for all of eternity, you would read all of these books. Which makes you wonder what they are. Because these books... the quality and interest level of these books would make a huge difference if the world is entirely a monitor where you can watch the living as though they were a television show, and a couple of love seats where you can sit down and read books. Now, if these are like Kindles, each of these books has thousands of books buried in it, maybe. But this just, I don't know, somehow there's this sense of natural beauty in Neo 2's Limbo that seems like it would actually be pleasant, although impossible to imagine being like a conscious living mind being engaged for eternity by anything. Like, anything will become boring with time. But this place, on the other hand, seems like it would become boring in an hour. Anyway, silliness. We're going to throw down a save, and we're going to call it a video, and when we come back next time, we will get a tiny little bit of dialogue with Hope, probably, and then we'll warp back to the world. We'll get our EP saving item, and then we're going to have to hoof it to the Wildlands, because I won't have enough EP for teleport, and run around grabbing mushrooms while it's still light. See you guys next time.